I forget the phrase, but it's the beggars can't be choosers. It took me a second to I don't remember to send up representing phone calls in the middle of the podcast.
Yeah, who cares? Do a year.
Yeah, you're really answering your phone, man.
And no more blackjack until we figure out what's going on in here, okay?
What's going on?
Yeah, he wasn't.
How you doing, my friend?
How are you?
Do you have ID on you?
No, why?
Okay. If you don't have ID, then you're not able to be at the casino, my friend, okay?
Oh, why?
Yeah, I can ask you for ID at any time.
I already showed my ID.
And you should have it to show me, right?
Why do you want to see it?
Because I need to see it.
I've been playing the whole time. How can you ask?
I know. That's in the casino. I'm allowed to ask you for ID.
If you want to check it up the front.
You have it on you?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I don't want to show it to you.
Show it to me, then you have to go and you can't cash out. So it's up to you.
All right, take my ID.
All right. Okay. And no more blackjack until we figure out what's going on in here, okay?
What's going on?
You can play any other game, but until I do supervision, you can't play blackjack anymore, okay?
Okay. Why? Because I'm losing too much or am I winning too much?
That's just the decision that I've made until I investigate a little further, okay? You can play anything else you want, but you can't play blackjack. And no more blackjack.
This can't be happy for it.
Are you stupid?
I'm having a baby.
I'm having a baby.
It's not yours.
No.
Just look at what this idiot is doing. After the stop command, this coward keeps throwing dirty shots to the back of the head. This dancing scoundrel is Ali Nabi.
Nike is looking for people to take.
If I get a strike, you get the head. You get the head. Are you ready?
Yo, good morning. Yo, Crown Boys. My bad, bro. Oh my God. Oh my God, bro. And we getting heavy rains today. This dickhead. Did he fall? Did he climb up?
He hit it hard.
They got a crane. They got a boom lift on a crane to go get his ass. All right, so that's the first thing I seen when I opened my goddamn Instagram this morning. Hold up, bro. God damn. You say you sent something to me? I don't see it.
currently reside. 记乐冬青这本是千斤顶 Jack for the cars 绝望 desperate 也带鱼 also bring extra. Translate part of the text message or what? 上帝很大 God is very big. 来记乐南节这本是北面爱刻骨坐牢 carved into bones go to jail. Okay, emotionally unstable, dude. 不服咬我 You got a problem? Bite me. 至高 Supreme of guy. 老师 Teacher. 老板 Boss. 听不懂 I don't understand. 演哑剧 Play mime.
Oh, I was sending you some pictures. I thought you sent them already. My bad. Nah, that's crazy, bro. What you gonna tell your boss? Oh, they cut the road off, man. You know, they trying to fix the water main. Your boss gonna tell you to walk, bro. Walk around that shit, man.
This is an emergency SOS call from the number.
Look who I done found at the scene of an accident. My boy Anna. Look. I told you, CPD. I told y'all. Look at him. He drunk. All in the wheel of the steering wheel. He done smacked the F-150. There was some other little YN in there. Because he ain't had no insurance. He got up out of here. He's still drunk. I called 911. I'm waiting on the ambulance to come. I ain't gonna touch him. But he got the UI coming out. And I told this man, trucker, ain't this about a bitch? Yeah, it's over with for you this time, mister. Mister, you okay? Mister. And he responded. He toasted. Look who I done found at the scene of an accident. My boy Anna. Look. I told you, CPD. I told you.
That's crazy. Oh, yesterday was so nice, and now today it's fucking dark and rainy. Yesterday at this time, it was nice out. I wonder what we get tomorrow. Rain all day today, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. April showers, bring me flowers. All right. April showers, bring me flowers. Let's get back to this. All right. I needed to add some more of this orange. House entertainment. Trap house.
Entertainment.
Trap house. Entertainment. You gotta rebel to be a rebel. You gotta reach hell to be a devil. You gotta break bread to get the bezel. You gotta make sales before you settle. Foot on the pedal. You niggas jello. I pop up with the chopper and I hit them with the up the river with no paddle when the water piss yellow. So you gotta be a rebel just to make it out the ghetto. Change gon' come with the funds or the guns. Cause a grown ass man can survive off of crumbs. And I still shake hands with the fiends and the bums. You know the real ass rebels always came from the slums. You know the real ass rebels always came from the slums. You know the real ass rebels always came from the slums. And I still shake hands with the fiends and the bums. You know the real ass rebels always came from the slums. If you play the game, then you know no one is innocent. You gon' get some battle scars, wounds, and some blemishes. You gotta toe the line, hold it tight and keep it militant. Silent and listen, the same word is spelled different. I sit and gather my thoughts and polish up my penmanship, recruiting some new membership. My plans are deliberate. The people won't rally if demands aren't legitimate. You better stand on business without pulling no ligaments. Change gon' come with the funds or the guns. Cause a grown ass man can survive off of crumbs. And I still shake hands with the fiends and the bums. You know the real ass rebels always came from the slums. You know the real ass rebels always came from the slums. You know the real ass rebels always came from the slums. And I still shake hands with the fiends and the bums. You know the real ass rebels always came from the slums. House entertainment. Trap house.
Entertainment.
Trap house. Entertainment. You gotta rebel to be a rebel. You gotta reach hell to be a devil. You gotta break bread to get the bezel. You gotta make sales before you settle. Foot on the pedal. You niggas jello. I pop up with the chopper and I hit them with the up the river with no paddle when the water piss yellow. So you gotta be a rebel just to make it out the ghetto. Change gon' come with the funds or the guns. Cause a grown ass man can survive.
Yo, good morning, guys.
And I still shake hands with the fiends and the bums. You know the real ass rebels always came from the slums. You know the real ass rebels always came from the slums. You know the real ass rebels always came from the slums. And I still shake hands with the fiends and the bums. You know the real ass rebels always came from the slums. If you play the game, then you know no one is innocent. You gon' get some battle scars, wounds, and some blemishes. You gotta toe the line, hold it tight and keep it militant. Silent and listen, the same word is spelled different. I sit and gather my thoughts and polish up my penmanship, recruiting some new membership. My plans are deliberate. The people won't rally if demands aren't legitimate. You better stand on business without pulling no ligaments. Change gon' come with the funds or the guns. Cause a grown ass man can survive off of crumbs. And I still shake hands with the fiends and the bums. You know the real ass rebels always came from the slums. You know the real ass rebels always came from the slums. You know the real ass rebels always came from the slums.
right, that's our newest song. I wrote that yesterday afternoon, real quick. I actually started writing a different song. I couldn't catch that shit, bro. That shit, like, I don't know. I might just leave that one. I don't know what it was. I was trying to write to a different beat, and that shit was not fucking coming. Then I don't know. I had the beat on loop, but then something. I was just fucking around on the phone, and then another beat started playing. I was like, I'm just writing this shit real quick then. Purposely just wrote something super fast just to, I don't know, feel like I wrote something. I was like, fuck it. Fuck that other beat right now. All right, right to this shit. So we wrote a song called Rebel. Is it 7 o'clock? It's not even 7 o'clock yet. I got finished with it around 7:30 last night. All right, no, I was finished with it way before then. I think I went back and edit a word in like the main document because I write here and I copy and paste into Suno, and then there were some words in Suno that weren't right, and so I went back and edit the main document. But I'm pretty sure I was like done writing before then. All right, so this is what we wrote yesterday.
Trap House Entertainment. Trap House Entertainment. Trap House Entertainment. You gotta rebel to be a rebel. You gotta reach hell to be a devil. You gotta break bread to get the bezel. You gotta make sales before you settle. Foot on the pedal. You niggas jello, I pop up with the chopper and I hit them with the up the river with no paddle when the water piss yellow. So you gotta be a rebel just to make it out the ghetto. Change gon' come with the funds or the guns, cause a grown ass man can't survive off of crumbs. And I still shake hands with the fiends and the bums. You know the real ass rebels always came from the slums. You know the real ass rebels always came from the slums. You know the real ass rebels always came from the slums. And I still shake hands with the fiends and the bums. You know the real ass rebels always came from the slums. If you play the game, then you know no one is innocent. You gon' get some battle scars, wounds, and some blemishes. You gotta toe the line, hold it tight and keep it militant. Silent and listen, the same word is spelled different. I sit and gather my thoughts and polish up my penmanship, recruiting some new membership. My plans are deliberate. The people won't rally if demands aren't legitimate. You better stand on business without pulling no ligaments. Change gon' come with the funds or the guns, cause a grown ass man can survive off the crumbs. And I still shake hands with the fiends and the bums. You know the real ass rebels always came from the slums. You know the real ass rebels always came from the slums. You know the real ass rebels always came from the slums. And I still shake hands with the fiends and the bums. You know the real ass rebels always came from the slums.
I say just something real quick, just to write something. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of. It's not kind of just like a super basic ass track, but I don't know what else I can add to it. I think I need to listen to more music so I can write a different formula, I guess. Most of my songs are formatted the same exact way. But Hey, Wendy. Mm, my bad. I'm coming. I am so sorry, guys. This fucking chat GPT got me doing some shit right now. What the fuck? And I ran out of messages. God damn it. Okay. Anyway. How we doing? It's rainy. Internet seems to be moving slow as shit.
DraftKings Casino gave your spins an upgrade with new Flex Spins. Forget one game. Now you choose which slots to use spins on. You can feel the heat
You
of
can
cash.
gamble.
According to Furkan, he says a brave student completely corners Vice President J.D. Vance on the Epstein Files cover-up. He exposes how the Trump administration is actively blocking investigations. Vance desperately tries to defend Trump, claiming the connection is just a hoax.
President Trump multiple times called the files a hoax. The acting attorney general said Epstein shouldn't be a part of anything at the DOJ. If there are compromised government officials in those files, how can the public trust that this administration will hold anyone accountable when its own Justice Department is actively blocking the investigation? Given that, can you clearly articulate your stance on whether federal entities should have a formal investigation? Thank you.
Yeah. So, all right. I got this one. Don't worry about it.
So first of all, you said the Associate Attorney General or something. I haven't seen that quote, but here's my view on the Epstein matter. Number one, the guy was clearly a scumbag. Okay. Number two, he clearly had extraordinary connections, both with intelligence services, both inside the United States and outside the United States, and also with a lot of very wealthy and powerful people. Okay. Number three, I've been a firm advocate and will continue to be a firm advocate of where we have something, and you know, like, probably more obsessed with this than most officials. Okay.
Yeah, I'm more obsessed with this than most officials. I also forgot about insisting that the person who emailed him about sexually assaulting children needs to be investigated. I'm obsessed with it, but I forgot that part. Do that. But anyway, he's got.
Massey passed the law. You're not obsessed with it
You're
more
not
than most.
right. They had to pass a law. Okay, here we go.
Probably more obsessed with this than most people, even in this room, is when you see somebody who says something in an email that suggests, you know, there's one email I read, and it's been a little while ago, but it was talking about, you know, one person sent an email to Jeffrey Epstein saying, oh, there were some really nice, like, pizzas and grape sodas or something like that. And I remember it sounded like the Pizzagate.
That doesn't mean anything, and I know that doesn't mean anything because I watch Matt Taibbi's podcast.
Yeah, well, he remembers the Pizzagate made-up story, which, by the way, I thought all the Trump people said Pizzagate was going to be investigated, didn't they?
Yeah.
All of these scumbags, it's just a conspiracy. Sir, why aren't you going? I know Trump's innocent, sir. Why aren't you going after the evil satanic Democrats? Nobody's in jail.
We go. He's got more.
Conspiracy theory, but here it was in like an email from a guy, and my reaction to that was, we should absolutely investigate that person. Okay, and you know, you remind me, I'm going to follow up on that to see whether we've investigated that person, because we should. We absolutely should. When you see evidence of sexual assault, sexual misconduct, regardless of whether you're powerful or not, in fact, you should probably investigate it more if you're a powerful person, right? I don't want powerful people, you know, being involved.
Yeah, guess what? They're not. I hate to tell you, you're part of the administration that's not doing the thing that you just said that they should do. Isn't that funny?
How about taking the black stripes off of it, JD? Oh, you're really into it? Did you see it unredacted?
Right.
Since you're vice president, or you were not allowed to either.
This disgusting behavior, but I have to defend the president on this.
Oh, you got
because when he said that it was a hoax, what he was talking about was this democratic idea that he's connected to Epstein. If you look at those emails, it's like, you know, they were in the same, you know, everybody in Palm Beach knew everybody, okay? Like the president has said he knew Jeffrey Epstein and he was a scumbag.
Hey, boy, JD Vance sounds like he is absolutely indirectly involved with the Epstein files. I mean, a jackrabbit running away from a fox has got nothing on him. JD Vance, the artless Dodger.
Not the
There was
artful
art, it was
Dodger,
artless.
the
How about
artless
Peter
Dodger.
Thiel? I know you're more into it than most because Peter Thiel made you fat in a lab. So I would think you're looking at that connection.
Our friend Furkan says Vice President is desperately tries to rewrite history regarding Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. Despite endless photographic evidence of their friendship, Vance ridiculously claims they hated each other to cover up the president's dark ties. The lies are staggering. Here, well, but you remember this? This was more to life than having everything, says Donald. Yes, there is, but I won't tell you what it is. Jeffrey, nor will I, since I also know what it is. Donald, we have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Jeffrey says, yes, we do. Come to think of it. Trump says, enigmas never age. Have you noticed that, Jeffrey? As a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you.
Did they fuck?
Donald says, a pat is a wonderful thing. A pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday.
Don't upload your videos to YouTube. Upload to Restream, where we will live stream it to YouTube and all your platforms at once. Get ready for 5 times more engagement and views. Oh, the algorithms love.
Be another.
And may every day be another wonderful secret. Look at that.
But what in the hell is this? Because who
P.S.
writes a letter where you both? It's like a play.
Wait, by the way, P.S. I hate you so much, Jeffrey.
I wish this was Katy Perry's vagina to rub in your face until you vomit.
They draw boobies to Cher's pubic hair.
Okay, well, I'm glad there's pubic hair in the signature because his boobies are too small for comfort in light of, Epstein.
Tim says, hey, J.E. Vance, while you're at it, can you report back on why these people haven't been investigated? Leslie Wexner, Jess Staley, Leon Black, Glenn Dubin, Eva Anderson Dubin, Darren Indike, Richard Kahn, Sarah Kellen, Nadia Marchakova, Alexander Acosta, and Leslie Groff. Okay, thanks. Yes. I'm pretty sure it's over for him.
You know his life story, and they made a movie about him, about how he came from nothing and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You see how he's the Charlie Kirk that didn't F up and they didn't have to kill him? Do you see that?
Yeah.
Why is there's already been a movie about him before he was vice president? Do you see what they do? He might as well be a Disney kid. Does everybody get that? Construct like AOC, like all of them, like Trump himself since way back when. Fucking Reagan, that piece of garbage. The guy who ruined SAG. How Kathy O'Brien was so forgiving of him. I read her book. I mean, I guess she's experienced worse, to be fair.
Yeah.
But I don't forgive him. What a piece of human excrement he was. And Nancy's even worse, and her family's worse. These are the most evil people who ever lived on the earth. And all these people don't want to look at it. But they want to point fingers at minor internet figures more.
Yeah, we're the real problem because we won't stop ridiculing a young mother who's almost 40. Anyway, not for nothing, there's a new study out, 86% success rate in treating cancer with ivermectin and fenbendazole. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. I don't know why I just said that in this story, but it's there.
Great. You can treat, and hey, good news, guys. You can treat cancer with horse apple dewormer.
You want to hear my jokes about this? See you this Sunday in Las Vegas and then Burbank, California on May 7th. It's a Thursday, special show, special surprises. And then Tulsa, Oklahoma City, Spokane, and Tacoma. Come see me on tour in Las Vegas, Burbank, California, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Oklahoma City, Spokane, and Tacoma, Washington. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.
Nobody can explain none of this Epstein
And I'm going to
shit,
share
man.
with you the top 10 reasons why I love Punchy is bringing the small campus feel with the big campus degree. All the amazing connections I made here. All the
Shut your goofy ass up.
The phenomenon could involve some type of activity that some might say constitutes a different.
Where's the program?
This would be one of the most closely held secrets in the entire United States government, if not the most closely held secret.
When people say the government can't really keep secrets, I and my colleagues know many secrets that have been kept for decades, and they can be kept.
Because I'm sitting here telling you I have secrets that I'm not going to tell you.
Investigative reporter, and I was
In a lot of people's eyes,
They've lied to us for like
this
75
particular
years.
subject is where the government really started lying to us. Hi, my name is Lanval Logan. Everyone calls me Logan. I'm a retired Air Force intelligence analyst that started off as a B-52 crew chief and cross-trained. I had the opportunity to support the UAP task force, and I'm here to talk about what I can at an unclassified level to share what I know.
people are starting to come out. You know, Congress is saying, come testify. I am Sarah Diem. I was a research scientist for the Department of Defense. And during my years as a scientist, I was able to investigate and research classified and unclassified reports in UAPs.
Why now?
I feel like it is the time where I've seen the interest in the Congress.
So you're not aware of that?
I've seen the interest with the UFO programs, and it just was very adversarial. I get the fact that the technology, if you could separate that out and call that national security, that the technologies they're working on, that has some reason to stay classified. But the revelation that there's other life out there, that should be something for everybody.
Did what you see convince you that the DOD or the intelligence agencies have a lot more compelling data than what the general public knows about?
Yes, there's a lot more data out there. I'd say a fraction of it that I was able to see is something unexplainable, like physics that's beyond our realm. It's not an aircraft. It's not camera parallax. It's not trash in the sky. It's not a balloon. It's something we don't know what it is. It is a true UAP.
Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid said to me, what's been released is merely the tip of the iceberg. How do you respond to that?
Because I've supported the task force and everything, there's more data out there. Now,
More data out there or in there?
Okay, more data behind closed doors.
I'm 100% saying I have evidence, and I've seen it, of craft that perform with anomalous characteristics, completely silent, able to maneuver at random speeds, stop on a dime, hover, take off again, go into and out of the water.
Yeah, we have 31 knots of steam wind outside, just 40.
What was splash? Splash. Mark bearing and rain.
What do we have that can do that?
P1 control doesn't know what type of aircraft it is either.
It is really, truly amazing when I'm able to look at a report or video, photos, and know that's not from here.
The number of emails that I've gotten alone in the last 2 months from other scientists saying, how do I help physicists?
Dr. Gary Nolan is an American immunologist, academic, inventor, and business entrepreneur with his own lab at Stanford University School of Medicine. Dr. Nolan has worked on alleged exotic or metamaterials in association with members of the intelligence and defense communities from UAP cases around the world.
Do you know things that if you revealed them right here on camera would get you in trouble? Yes. Is it frustrating knowing those things?
Yes. And so I don't know anywhere near what I think some people do know, and people I know do know. And so it's not what I know, it's what they do. And I think that that's the reason why you're seeing this concerted effort from individuals within the government who are saying, enough is enough. Time to get this information out.
I'm 100% saying our evidence, and I've seen is stuff like the secrets housed on SIPR, stuff at the top secret levels housed on JRIS. On these systems, there are very high quality image files showing UAPs doing transmedium travel, atmospheric entry, etc.
Science can explain this stuff, but you can't explain it based on a shaky iPhone video that somebody took while camping.
It's frustrating when I hear mainstream scientific community on all the talk shows criticizing the lack of more compelling data when I know it exists.
It seems to me aliens who visited us, they would manifest more convincingly than fuzzy video.
And then there's all these different excuses as to why it's not being released. I get that, and I'm sure that some of that is relevant. However, the bigger issue is they have definitive confirmation that these craft are real and they don't know where the fuck they come from, excuse my French. That's it. I know that's the case.
There's enough evidence out there that demands a verdict that says, yes, there's something going on. Is there enough evidence to say that these are off-worlders? Some of us would say yes, some of us would say no. But collaboratively, with the right people working together, I think we could come up with a definitive answer, and the answer is yes.
His name is Gary McKinnon. He's 46 years old. He hacked into the computers of NASA, the U.S. Army, the Navy, the Air Force, and broke into some of the most secret U.S. military computer networks. The 97 U.S. military and NASA computers. But he claims he was just looking for secret evidence of unidentified flying objects. Looking for UFOs dragged Gary McKinnon.
The Americans say McKinnon is a cyber terrorist who caused almost £500,000 worth of damage to military computers.
On his webinar studios in New York, and U.S. officials are not at all happy about this one. Not at all, Chef. This is uploaded unedited satellite images of, as he said, out of this world flying objects. 2002, he was charged with the biggest U.S. military hack in the universe. What did he find in the way of UFO evidence? Well, he says he spent a year looking through these computer systems, and he found, he says, photographic proof of alien spacecraft and the names and ranks of something he called non-terrestrial officers. He has not at this point shared those names with us.
If extradition does go ahead, Gary could face 60 years in an American prison.
The crew caught up with Gary McKinnon in the English countryside.
How many people wanted to know what you saw? Oh, God. Newspapers, film companies, book writers, television stations. Yeah, I've lost count. Oh my God, you Gary McKinnon? Yeah. What did you see? Is it true? Da, 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 da. Yeah.
They very much want to get him back here to face American justice.
One official here at the Home Office told me the fresh
Not being very productive right now. Trying to do too much shit at one time. The fuck is going on? Yo, I'm trying so hard to sign into my fucking music account. This shit is giving me all kind of weird runarounds. Why is it doing this? Thank God, what the fuck?
Going back to the trap house. To the trap house.
All right, let's see what that does first. Mm, I'm about to run out of credits on all my goddamn free AI services. I may have to yo, good morning guys. I may have to actually subscribe to one of these motherfuckers. Because I'm really thinking about not keeping my Mid-Journey subscription. It's only like $100 a year, but I don't use it that much. I keep telling myself to keep trying to force myself to get back on there. Oh my God. Let's see what this does. All right. I am doing art. I'm just not painting. Shit. I'm gonna need breakfast soon. I might eat dinner for breakfast. I have some leftovers that I can throw in the microwave and have dinner for breakfast. I don't mind eating food any time of the day. Breakfast for dinner, dinner for breakfast, brunch for lunch, lunch for brunch. It don't matter which way you really. I don't know why people get hung up on that shit sometimes. Somebody's like, we went to brunch the last time. My friends, I had chicken and waffles. She was like, I can't even imagine chicken and waffles. And then like chicken seems like a dinner food. I'm like, no, it's fried chicken at fucking 10 o'clock in the morning. I wrote a new song last night. It's kind of trash, but it's kind of cool. Let's see. All right, still adding more black. And I feel like I don't know which one of these should I use. Yeah, that's right. Oh.
House entertainment. Trap house. Entertainment. Trap house. Entertainment. You gotta rebel to be a rebel. You gotta reach hell to be a devil. You gotta break bread to get the bezel. You gotta make sales before you settle. Foot on the pedal. You niggas jello, I pop up with the chopper and I hit them with the up the river with no paddle when the water piss yellow. So you gotta be a rebel just to make it out the ghetto. Change gon' come with the funds or the guns, cause a grown ass man can't survive off of crumbs. And I still shake hands with the fees and the bums. You know the real ass rebels always came from the slums. You know the real ass rebels always came from the slums. You know the real ass rebels always came from the slums. And I still shake hands with the fees and the bums. You know the real ass rebels always came from the slums. If you play the game, then you know no one is innocent. You gon' get some battle scars, wounds, and some blemishes. You gotta toe the line, hold it tight and keep it militant. Silent and listen, the same word is spelled different. I sit and gather my thoughts and polish up my penmanship, recruiting some new membership. My plans are deliberate. The people won't rally if demands aren't legitimate. You better stand on business without pulling no ligaments. Change gon' come with the funds or the guns, cause a grown ass man can survive off of crumbs. And I still shake hands with the fees and the bums. You know the real ass rebels always came from the slums. You know the real ass rebels always came from the slums. You know the real ass rebels always came from the slums. And I still shake hands with the fees and the bums. You know the real ass rebels always came from the slums. House entertainment. Trap house. Entertainment. Trap house. Entertainment. You gotta rebel to be a rebel. You gotta reach hell to be a devil. You gotta break bread to get the bezel. You gotta make sales before you settle. Foot on the pedal. You niggas jello, I pop up with the chopper and I hit them with the up the river with no paddle when the water piss yellow. So you gotta be a rebel just to make it out the ghetto. Change gon' come with the funds or the guns, cause a grown ass man can't survive off of crumbs. And I still shake hands with the fees and the bums. You know the real ass rebels always came from the slums. You know the real ass rebels always came from the slums. You know the real ass rebels always came from the slums. And I still shake hands with the fees and the bums. You know the real ass rebels always came from the slums. If you play the game, then you know no one is innocent. You gon' get some battle scars, wounds, and some blemishes. You gotta toe the line, hold it tight and keep it militant. Silent and listen, the same word is spelled different. I sit and gather my thoughts and polish up my penmanship, recruiting some new membership. My plans are deliberate. The people won't rally if demands aren't legitimate. You better stand on business without pulling no ligaments. Change gon' come with the funds or the guns, cause a grown ass man can survive off of crumbs. And I still shake hands with the beats and the bones. You know the real ass rebels always came from the slums. You know the real ass rebels always came from the slums. You know the real ass rebels always came from the slums. And I still shake hands with the beats and the bones. You know the real ass rebels always came from the slums.
Just wrote something real quick, a little short track real quick.
You gotta rebel to be a rebel. You gotta reach hell to be a devil. You gotta break bread to get the bezel. You gotta make sales before you settle. Foot on the pedal. You niggas jello, I pop up with the trap. Entertainment. Trap house. Entertainment. Trap house. Entertainment. You gotta rebel to be a rebel. You gotta reach hell to be a devil. You gotta break bread to get the bezel. You gotta make sales before you settle. Foot on the pedal. You niggas jello, I pop up with the chopper and I hit them with the up the river with no paddle when the water piss yellow. So you gotta be a rebel just to make it out the ghetto. Change gon' come with the funds or the guns, cause a grown ass man can survive off of crumbs. And I still shake hands with the bees and the bums. You know the real ass rebels always came from the slums. You know the real ass rebels always came from the slums. You know the real ass rebels always came from the slums. And I still shake hands with the bees and the bums. You know the real ass rebels always came from the slums. If you play the game, then you know no one is innocent. And you gon' get some battle scars, wounds, and some blemishes. You gotta toe the line, hold it tight and keep it militant. Silent and listen, the same word is spelled different. I sit and gather my thoughts and polish up my penmanship, recruiting some new membership. My plans are deliberate. The people won't rally if demands aren't legitimate. You better stand on business without pulling no ligaments. Change gon' come with the funds or the guns, cause a grown ass man can survive on the crumbs. And I still shake hands with the beats and the bums. You know the real ass rebels always came from the slums. You know the real ass rebels always came from the slums. You know the real ass rebels always came from the slums. And I still shake hands with the beats and the bums. You know the real ass rebels always came from the slums.
Trap House Entertainment.
Sleep is for the sheep. Wake up from your slumber. And complain is for the weak. Time to tear this thing asunder. Sleep is for the sheep. Wake up from your slumber. And complain is for the weak. Time to tear this thing. Insomnia. I cannot sleep. I stay awake.
Ooh, you know what? This album is almost done, guys. I might just make it an EP. Do like 7 tracks maybe. Ooh, is that black still too wet? I can't do that yet. Shit. I'm gonna put paint on the palette too. This black is still too wet. So within the black there are some blue designs in there as well. might be too early to lay this down. Yeah, nah, that's not gonna work right now. Let's not fuck it up. Being all hasty. Don't be all hasty. All right, so I was gonna double back and start adding the blue detail within the black, but the black is still too wet. So we're gonna go over to the top of the collar. And oh, this collar right here. So let's just focus on the collar. And then we'll work our way down this side of the shirt. So this first side now has more details in it. Really working on getting these oranges and yellows in there. But you see all the blue in there as well. But we'll have to wait for this to dry some more before we can add that blue in there. There's gonna be a bunch of layers on this damn jacket just because the details are, the pattern on it is so weird. So that's really why I wanted to jump on this thing. I already knew. What I want to do a post for this last album. I want to really promote this last album a little bit. Exactly, bro. Exactly. Because when you look at it, it's all like that, and without the blue, you don't really see anything else. It kind of it's the border of the rose pattern. So yeah, this shirt really won't pop out until I can get those blues in there. That's why I was kind of anxious to do it, but I better just wait and just take my time, not fuck that shit up, because I'll fuck it up in a heartbeat. No, wrong one. Hold on. So what happened to my? Oh, it just looks different. Why does Meta change the icon? I'm like, what the fuck is that? Oh, that is Meta. Think about doing Instagram Live. I haven't been on there in a minute. Wait a minute. Why can't I? Why don't I have? Yeah. What the fuck? For some reason, I can't find this. See if one of these motherfuckers can generate a goddamn decent ad for the album. I wanna since I'm almost finished with this next album, I really wanna just try to promote the last album a little bit more. I think I do a terrible job at promoting this music. But now that Last time, Meta. I'm fucking throw this goddamn phone. Once again, yo, this dude. I can't get over people sometimes, man. This last dude who reached out to me contacted me initially and was like, "Oh, I see you a struggling artist. I can help you, you know, get to the next level." I ignored this motherfucker for months. But my girl kept saying, maybe you need to talk to him. Maybe you need to, you know, reach out and see what he's talking about. I'm like, no, I'm good. Then next month, she was like, did you ever call that dude back? I'm like, no. You need to talk to him. All right. So I finally did call this motherfucker and talk to his ass. Talked to him for about 40 minutes. And I sent him everything I got and showed him what I'm doing. Motherfucker ain't never called me back. Nigga ain't never called me back. Now I'm stuck here doing this shit again by myself. See, this the shit right here I was going to try to pay the bro for, like, nigga. What the fuck is going on? Yo, Meta is the fucking worst. Yo, what the hell? Trying to word this shit better so I'm not getting goofy ass fucking images. All right. Let's see what Perplexity is able to do for us. I saturate this whole thing good. I'm gonna start there. I might drop this one notch. Something like that. Go ahead, fucking Perplexity. That's the John right there. Man. That's the one right there. Damn. You remember when AI couldn't do hands? I just had to count again to make sure. Not even the hand looked pretty good.
The trap house. The trap house.
Album number 16. But still not running out of steam.
Let's get into it. Trap house entertainment.
Yeah. You must approach with caution, cause I'm always in motion. If it's money that you talking, then you might get tossed a token. Cause my niggas out here vibing, and the trap house always open. Never worry about no whole shit. Set up shop and call it kosher. I'm Frank White, you Frank Ocean. All my life, I've been a soldier. I get wise as I get older. On my feet like isotoners. Blowing green, sipping Coronas. Still your queen, she see my boner. We can get it if you want it. I bring heat like Arizona.
Yes, me. I'm the prince.
Yes, me.
I'm the prince.
Yes, me.
I'm the prince.
Yes, me.
I'm the prince. Yes, me. I'm the prince.
Yes, me.
I'm the prince.
Yes, me.
I'm the prince.
Yes, me.
I'm the prince. Yeah.
What happened to the text?
happened to the?
This is the most boring stream ever. My bad, guys. Shit. This dude ain't doing shit this morning. Other than being confused in the motherfucker. I don't know what the fuck to do with this. How do I add the goddamn? I'll try to do that shit later because I'm not sure about something. I'm not sure if I boost that post. When I boost my last post and it had the hyperlink to my but see here from Instagram. So when I put the hyperlink in the Instagram campaign post, you can't click the hyperlink there. It tells you to go to my profile and click the link for the profile. But when it shared this exact post to my Facebook page, when you look at this post on Facebook, you can click the hyperlink. So I don't know. I want whoever sees the music link to be able just to click from right here from Instagram to go right to the iTunes or fucking Apple or whatever page. So I don't know. Like I say, because my Facebook and my Instagram are connected. So whatever I post on Instagram duplicates to my Facebook automatically, so I don't have to keep posting shit twice. But I can only see the link on Facebook and not on Instagram. I'm like, why is that doing that? So once I figured that out, I'm just gonna ask one of the chat bots in a few minutes, like, how do I solve that issue? My bad, guys, for sitting here in silence, not doing any fucking painting or anything, so tapping on that goddamn phone. Like I said, I do want to try to promote this album a little more heavy before I release more music. Thanks again, Music, for copping the copy. My aunt called me on her way home from work. She says, she was just chatting about this and that. And I was like, where you at? She was like, I'm on the way home. She was like, there was some shit going on at work and I'm just over it. I just left. She's like, what? Didn't you just put out an album? What's the album? I'm gonna go get a copy of it. And I told her that shit. We chat a little more, got on the phone. I said, damn, whatever y'all did to my aunt at work today, that woman wanted to listen to some gangster rap. I'm like, what do y'all do? What do y'all do to my aunt? It worked that bad? She was like, nephew, I need to listen to some of that shit, bro. What? Ain't you just put an album out? I say, yes, ma'am. Yo. Let's was crazy. That shit was too funny. I said, the last album I put out is kind of a mixed bag. You might want to, get a different album. I got some good stuff now. I got some good stuff you can listen to, but I don't know if you want that one. Nothing like the last one I do. Hey, my auntie said she wanted to go ahead and bump some of that shit on the way home on her afternoon commute from the office. Go ahead, man. Do your thing. I ain't gonna hate on you. Like you said, I can't listen to NPR this afternoon. I need something different. Oh yeah, it's about to be time for me to eat some breakfast or something. How long you been in here? 2 hours, and I ain't do nothing. Fuck around on AI, trying to make a post. Oh shit, my stomach's starting to growl. I need to paint for at least another hour. Paint for at least another hour. We're gonna do a chicken. I got a whole chicken. Put that motherfucker in the oven. And I got a pot roast. And put that motherfucker in the oven right beside the chicken. And close the door up on both of them guns and goddamn let them sit in there for an hour and some change. And that's all we doing today, folks. 2 oven pots. On the stove, I'm gonna do some collard greens. And I got some turnips and some parsnips. Do that. Put some carrots and potatoes in there with that pot roast. Call it a day. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna call it a day. Chicken and pot roast. All right. Now that I look at the weather too, because it's gonna be rainy. It's gonna be rainy for a minute.
I got from one whole beef. This beef came in at 680 pounds. I got roasts, steaks, hamburger, offals, tallow, all in one beef. This can feed a family for a little over a year, and this is why most people go this route. Everything I got from one whole beef. This beef came in at 680 pounds. I got roasts, steaks, hamburger, offals, tallow, all in one beef. This can feed.
All you gotta do is buy a cow. God damn. All right, I gotta eat something. I ain't lying. But we're gonna stay in the studio because I need to paint some more too. I really wanna get this collar part done.
1, 2, 3.
Yo, this is crazy, but any music ad I see is a Suno ad. I see about 10 to 15 Suno ads daily. Like Suno is pushing their products so fucking hard, bro. They're pushing the hell out of this shit. But I like how they also use like people in the studio recording their own drums and pianos and adding it to Suno to hype it up and then looping it back into their own shit, or making their own samples that sound like classic 60s Motown samples, or making their own drum riffs. Because now you can just beatbox into that shit. I see motherfuckers and tell it to turn it into a beat, yo, and you got your drum sets now. Like you don't gotta know how to play the drums if you can just beatbox that shit, yo. I wonder if I can make a beat like that. But see, everybody else uses the studio version where you can add layers and move shit around and make separate instruments. But if I can just beatbox into like a normal recording and tell it to like use this to make a beat itself, I have less control, but it should still sound similar to whatever I input, right? I don't know. I might have to try that shit now. Now that I think about it. Every ad is a Suno ad.
Somebody lying. Because that's the only way to keep you happy. That's why if you talk to a man that's been married a long time, ask your grandfather, how does he stay married so long? He'll tell you, happy wife, happy life. Because she prioritizes happiness. Not once does that nigga say, keep it real with a young blood. They love that shit. Just be honest with her and everything will work itself out. No, nigga. If she's happy, congratulations, nigga. You get to be married a little longer. That's how it works. And they get happiness. They get happiness, fellas, because they prioritize happiness. So make sure that they're happy. Because once they're happy, then in return, you still don't get happiness. Nigga, it don't work like that. Well, you thought it was reciprocal? You know, I know you don't get happiness, nigga. And I know it sounds fucked up to some of the women, but it's okay. Because your man don't want any happiness from you for real. He don't. Don't try to, no lady in here, please don't try to prove me wrong and dedicate your day tomorrow to making your nigga happy. Fellas, think about that. Think about your woman waking up tomorrow and dedicating her entire day to making you happy. Doesn't that sound like the worst day of your fucking life? Worst day of your fucking life. Because she's not going to ask you what she can do to make you happy. She's just going to do a bunch of shit she feels should make you happy. And if you don't act the way she hopes you would act, so what she's doing now is a problem that you're not happy about some shit you never asked her to do. Delusional as fuck. There's some niggas in here laughing hard as shit, and there's some other niggas here in prison like, man, I wish I could laugh, bro. You don't get happiness. And listen, it is nonsense. No man wants happiness from his woman. We wouldn't even believe you if you tried. Fellas, can you imagine you coming home, putting a pen and a piece of paper in front of your woman and say, write down what it's going to take for, if she puts a pen and paper in front of you and say, hey baby, write down what it's going to take for me to make you happy. Fellas, what are you writing? You ain't got shit, do you? Look at them, nothing. Ladies, if y'all are so rational, why the fuck don't they have anything to write? Because they don't believe that you actually give a fuck about making them happy. He know it's a trap. Soon as he writes down what you can do to make him happy, you gonna look at it and go, so you saying I don't do this? So you saying I'm not happy? You're not happy? That's what you're saying? Delusional as fuck. So you're in luck, ladies. Men don't care nothing about happiness. Men care about peace. That's all men care about anyway. Men go through their whole life going like, this is how a man thinks. Long as no one's fucking with me, what a day. That's what peace looks like, ladies. That's all he wants is peace. Just wants to get to the end of the day where he feel like, hey, I ain't got nothing on my plate. It's over. Peace. But fellas, that is your job. It's your job to facilitate and keep your own peace. Your woman will not give you peace. She don't know nothing about peace. Peace ain't even some shit that they experience. Women know happiness. They don't know peace. If you ask a woman about peace, what peace is, she'll just describe extreme happiness. The reason women will never experience peace is because peace resides where nothing is happening. When nothing is happening, that's where peace resides. And they will never know what the fuck that's like. Because there's never a time ever in a woman's life where she's thinking of nothing. The whole time I've been up here, your woman's been thinking the whole fucking time. And every time I say something she disagree with, she's like, fuck this fat nigga. He don't know what the fuck. They can't even just sit here and listen. Delusional as fuck. Delusional, can't do it. Not a woman in here that stopped thinking for a second. They can't do it. They will never know peace. So because they don't know peace, fellas, it is your responsibility to find your peace and keep your own peace. She will not help you, and she don't give a fuck about your peace, especially if it interferes with her happiness. I'm telling you. And I know it's some ladies in here like, nah, fuck that. I care about my man peace. I'll make sure he's at peace. And you know what? You're a fucking liar. And I'll show you who you are. Now, ladies, let's say you and your man are home alone. Home alone. It's just you two in the house. Y'all are on opposite sides of the house. And you're happy. You're really happy. It's the best day of your fucking life. You've never been this happy before. And instead of going, man, I'm so happy, I just want to dwell in this all day. For some reason you go, I wonder what he's doing. It's really quiet in here. It almost sounds like peace. So what do? You walk to the other side of the house just to see what this nigga's doing. And then you look in the room and you look and you see him and he's not doing anything. This nigga's just looking off into the distance. Smiling. Do you go, damn, he looks happy. I'm gonna leave him alone. Or do you go, fuck is this nigga smiling about, Delusional as fuck. They don't care. These people don't want peace. Complain about y'all are the most dysfunctional people on the planet. How dare you criticize us? Emotionally unstable. They don't care nothing about rationale at all. You want exactly. They just want to. I'm glad you said that. Don't want peace. They just want attention. Now that is a woman on her way. Women are crazy. They say crazy type shit, man. Don't do crazy stuff like go through your nigga's phone. That's how I know y'all are irrational people. Irrational people. Because you don't really have a reason to go through his phone. That's why we think you crazy. Because the reason you give us, no, they're not really doing something wrong. It's just you're crazy. You're crazy. You know why? You want to know why I know you're crazy for going through the phone? You're going through the phone because you don't have evidence that he's doing something wrong. And instead of going, maybe my nigga's a good nigga, you go, this nigga's getting better at lying. And you go look for something that could piss you off. That is I'm telling you, fellas, the only reason why they do it is they're crazy. They are delusional. They love to hurt. They love, I'm gonna tell you what they do. Think about it. One of their favorite things, fellas, don't you ever stop lying to them, because one of their favorite things, women love to catch you in a lie. It's their favorite shit. And if you never lie to them, they never get the opportunity, but you'll never get the opportunity. Royalty.
Somebody just shared one of my posts.
If I stop lying, you go through the phone, bitch. Why are you not listening? What's happening? I'm telling you, they don't hear
what you saying. They don't hear it. It's a lot of niggas' phones going through right now because he's telling the truth. He should have just lied. Should have just lied. I'm telling you, they are addicted to the feeling. They enjoy catching you in a lie. They catch you. If a woman doesn't like catching you in a lie, then explain to me why every time they do, they smile. Anytime your woman catches you in a lie, she's like, where were you? Oh, no, I was at Jason's house. He said Jason's house. Happy as fuck. Happy as fuck. I don't know what that feeling is. It must feel good. Whatever that feeling is, it must feel tremendous because y'all are addicted to it. You want to know how I know you're addicted to it? Because you act like addicts. You know what I've never seen an addict do? Take one hit and go about their fucking day. You know what I've never seen? A woman confronts you after the first lie. She knows you weren't at Jason's house. She could easily say, stop right there, motherfucker. Stop lying. I know you weren't over there, and this is how I know. Is that what she's going to say? Of course not. She's going to go, so what were you and Jason doing over there at Jason's house? Because she needs another hit. They sick, nigga. They are sick. I'm delusional as fuck. That's right. See, I'm bringing them along, fellas. And it was one. Now I got two. Mama leave. I see it. Like, I'm gonna go ahead and leave. I'm gonna tell y'all though before I leave, ladies, you gotta get rid of your delusions a little bit. Because your man probably ain't even mad that you go through his phone. He really mad at the reason y'all go through the phone. Because your delusions be taking control. Y'all tell us you go through the phone because you're looking for evidence of another woman. And that's why we think you're crazy. Because you think two women like us. That is not most niggas' lives. Why do y'all think that everybody wants your nigga? How did that happen? You know how he got you? He didn't have nobody. He didn't have nobody. Now he got you. He got all the bitches. That ain't even how math works. You see what I'm saying? Only a crazy person with a nigga had nobody. He got you. Every bitch want him now. And they lose their mind. They lose their fucking mind. Ladies, what the fuck do you think happens? You think this nigga, he let this nigga go to Target by himself and women just lose their shit? He go to Target by himself and women just get on the phone like, bitch, you won't believe who just came in here. The one nigga all of us want to fuck is down here in the frozen food section. We gotta fuck him right here before this bitch let him show up again. Nobody want that nigga but you, sis.
Okay, microwave. It took me so long to get back up here just now. I went through a whole series of dilemmas. Just trying to get a plate of food, man. A plate of leftovers. A whole series of dilemmas. So I go downstairs and I said, oh, I'm wasting my fucking shit everywhere. Motherfucker. So I go downstairs and I say, I'm gonna just get my plate of food real quick and take it back upstairs with me. And I heat it up in the microwave upstairs. So I said, well, I'll go to the bathroom while I'm down here too. So I get my food and I go to get the fork out the silverware drawer, and the drawer is off track. So I can't pull the fucking drawer open. What the fuck is this? So I get the drawer squared away and get a fork. And then, oh, I forgot my phone was on. And then So I'm coming back upstairs with my food, but it's raining pretty good outside and it's chilly. And I had like all the windows on the second floor open. So I was like, I better close these windows real quick because it's getting cold in here. So I'm closing the bedroom window and I can look out the window and see my truck outside. Now yesterday it was nice as hell. When I was riding around, I had the sunroof open. So I'm looking out the window and I see I didn't close my fucking sunroof all the way. And I had this little teeny crack in it. So now I had to run and change my shoes, put on the jacket, and go outside and make sure the fucking sunroof is all the way closed. But is it wet in there? A little bit. Not real bad. Like I said, the smallest little gap, which is weird because my sunroof has an automatic open, but not an automatic close. You just gotta hold it until you think it's closed all the way. I don't know who designed that part, but that's stupid.
Dosing, huh? You are right there. That's working for you. Yeah. What are you gonna do? I guess it works. Am I really gonna shit on it? Microdosing. That's like coffee. I drink coffee. It's like, hey, drink coffee. It'll wake you up. It's like it doesn't wake you up. It blocks the signals that tell you need to go to sleep. That's what you're still tired, right? Sorry, are you guys all coffee drinkers? Is that what's happening here? What do you mean? Okay. First agave, then microdosing, now coffee. What next? Huh? Man buns? Is that what we're gonna go after? I didn't come here for this fucking bullshit. All right, we're gonna read some of the things here. Oh, I'm sorry, somebody's chatting. What's the matter, sir? Huh? Are you thinking about leaving? Is it too long? All right, we're gonna go universal on this. All right, who here is excited to have me read some of the listeners' readings? Huh? Oh, come on! You can do better than that! Yeah, there we go. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. I always love that. You can do better than that. It's like, well, yeah, we could, but the first response was the honest one. I can always pretend that I'm more excited. By the way, this is why I have back problems. This is how I sit. I sit on my lower spine. This is from the beginning of my life. I don't want to fucking do that. Why am I here? All right, Steve Jobs, everybody. Steve Jobs. You know what the new Steve Jobs is? Is that laminated-faced hair plug cunt on Twitter. What do you mean, which one? The guy who fucking bought it. The Tesla guy. My wife has a Tesla. Every time she's in the driveway and she's backing up, and I just hear. It sounds like there's a Great Dane outside that needs to get fed. Then I hear her pulling forward, and I'm like, okay, good, she got it in the spot. It's like, Jesus Christ, just take out the shrub already. Those skin cancer mobiles, like, why does the fucking windshield go past your goddamn head? Like another buddy of mine has one. The whole top of the car is just fucking opened up. I think it's for population control. They're gonna try to take us out with melatonin. All I know is I don't know why everybody thinks that guy's amazing.
He's kind of cool.
Let me tell you right now, somebody who has fucking Botox face and a hair system. You're going to look at them like, yeah, man. This guy has the answers. It's like, this guy's looking in a mirror like, I don't like the way I look. I reject aging. I reject it. To me, he looks like space Christopher Walken. Like, you go in a wax museum, like, this is Christopher Walken, like, sort of, but that's not him. That's what he. They took away the blue checks this week, and I can't even begin to tell you how much that affected my life. Is this Bill? I don't know if it is. It's like, dude, I'm not paying for your fucking Botox. All right. You can take that blue check and stick it right in your fucking hair system. I'm too real for that, man. I let myself go bald. I did because I had alopecia. I didn't have any soldiers to bring to the front. If I did, I would have called and I would be sitting up here looking like, a lion tamer. Steve Jobs, everybody. The original. Didn't really do anything. Turtleneck cunt. Do you know when white guys are taking credit for shit that they didn't do? Is they wear turtlenecks. They do that, that fucking photo. Like they're interesting. Dear Billy Technology Tits. Do you remember those iMacs that came out around the year 2000? I don't. They were translucent. Oh yeah, I remember those, the gumball color ones. And where some were different colors. The monitor had the computer was one piece. And there was a handle on the back for easy lifting. Yeah, they originally
He went to he ascended to this level of fame that no one had ever been to before. Hence, he made all the mistakes because there was no one there to help him out. Right? He got a piece of shit manager that stole from him. Bam! He stopped making music, started making shitty movies. He's not a good actor, right? Does that. Married a minor. Started doing drugs, got fat, got an entourage, got even fatter, started wearing onesies, doing karate kicks, splitting his fucking pants. Nobody's saying shit. You look good, King. You like that? You like when my royal balls hang out? We love it, King. Keep fucking going. Starts doing pills, gets addicted. He fucking dies alone on a toilet. All right? This man kicked open all of those fucking doors for the rest of us. All right? So I sit down. And I'm watching this documentary as a white dude, which is what I am. I'm looking out my white head, watching this white shit. It's coming back into my white eyes, getting whiter by the fucking second. Right? And my wife, on the other hand, she's black, right? Now, I hate saying that because it makes it seem like I'm going to start doing some stupid comparison jokes. You know, those dumb white guy, black guy jokes. And it's always like the white guy's like, oh, Jesus, I gotta do my taxes. Can this chair hold me? The black guy's always like, you need to loosen up. You gotta relax, man. You just gotta let it happen. Right? It's always the same stupid fucking joke. I hate those jokes, because they're easy. And it's been my experience that it's just not true. 15 years of being with her, there's really no difference. Because at the end of the day, it's a woman. All right? It's going to be the same fights. I don't give a fuck who you're with. I'm not going to lie to you. There might be more head movement and hand gestures with different races of women. Possibly an index finger jabbing at your forehead, whatever the fuck that is. But at the end of the day, it's the same fights. What's going on with us? You need to work on this. Why don't we communicate better, right? So she starts watching this shit as a black person, right? I know she's seeing all the racism, obviously, that I'm seeing, but she was catching all this subtle shit that I was too white to see, but I knew I was missing it because I just kept hearing her huffing and puffing, just sitting next to me being like, I'm just sitting there like, okay, somebody did something. I don't know what just happened, but I don't think that was good. So right when I didn't think it could get any worse, it could get any more uncomfortable between the two of us, this fucking white dude comes on who evidently discovered Elvis. And he's like 190 years old, and he comes out and starts talking. He's just like, well, basically, I was looking for a white boy that could take the down and dirty, nasty blues and combine it with the pristine, angelic sounds of bluegrass. Yeah, that's what he was doing. He was suddenly putting black shit down here while he was propping up the white shit. The down and dirty, daddy not sticking around, drug-infested neighborhood blues with the Jesus as white as me, hair the color of the sun, angelic bluegrass playing music, right? So at this point, my wife has like fucking steam coming out of her ears. So I make a judgment call. I just fucking shut it off, right? And she looks at me. She's like, "Why did you shut that off? Why did you shut it off?" I was like, "Because you're about 3 minutes away from yelling at me like I produced this music." All right? Let's just forget it. We'll watch something else. She's like, "No, why can't we just watch the rest of this and then discuss it afterwards?"
Because I don't want to fucking discuss this shit.
That's why I watch a documentary.
Yeah.
I don't want to have a fucking lecture.
You
Because
know
these
what,
fucking
that-
assholes, I didn't do anything. They're just sitting there watching TV.
I don't want no damn
Let's get
discussion,
into an
man.
argument.
Fuck that
She
shit.
said, "Well, why would we get into an argument?" I'm like, "Oh."
I'd rather not
All
watch.
right, you know what? Because not for nothing, there was some black people in there saying some shit that I didn't agree with. You know, I'm not huffing and puffing. Yeah, I said that. Like a fucking idiot. And she just looks at me. She's like what black people? Like what black people that said what? And at that point, it's like you started the luge, right? You can't get off the fucking sled. Now you gotta have the argument. I'm like, "Ah, fuck, here we go. Guess we're having this." And I'm like, all right. The black guy brought up leg shaking, saying Elvis took leg shaking from us. It's like, really? Leg shaking? No, nobody thought to fucking do this? Black people came up with that? You telling me that? I'll even give you that. Let's say you came up with that, but where did that black dude learn how to do it? Didn't he watch some older black guy do it? What, because he's the same color? He's not stealing, he's just carrying on the tradition. But if Elvis does it, oh, what the fuck? Now he's the biggest thief ever? That doesn't make any sense to me. She goes, "No, you idiot. It's not about the leg shaking, okay? It's about, he appropriated a culture."
You know how I'm getting old? This is embarrassing, but I was in my hotel room. I'm not gonna lie, I was jerking off, like, and I was like really sweating it out. And this is when I knew I was old. I just gave up in the middle, like nothing even happened. I don't like looking at my dick anymore. My dick looks distinguished. It's old, an old looking dick. It's got salt and pepper hair all around it. My dick looks like Morgan Freeman in the 90s. Without the dots. My dick narrates. They pulled me out and started jerking me around. But not with the same vigors when he was young. He and I both knew nothing was coming out. I see my age in my children. I came home from the road. This is not long ago. I've been gone for, if you can picture, I was gone for weeks and weeks. And when I came back, nobody was home. Now, one person in my family thought that maybe I'd like to see them when I got back. Like, they knew when I was coming back, but they just weren't home. And that shit was a wake-up call. You know, like when my kids were little, and the tour bus would pull up to the house, these motherfuckers would spill out. Dad is home, hooray! And they'd hug me and kiss me, and then as the years went on, they'd get less interested. Hey everybody, look, it's Mr. Promises back from the road. But empty house, that's some cold shit. And I went into my oldest son's room. I was like, hello, hello. He was gone. And I'd never done this thing before, but for some reason I just did it. I just looked through his shit. Just to see who this motherfucker was becoming. And I found these notebooks and I started going through the notebooks and there was all this wonderful poetry written in his handwriting. I didn't even know this nigga wrote poems. And then I looked through his drawers and I opened up his middle drawer. And I found his rolling paper. And I looked down at them papers like, oh, that's where that poetry is coming from. that shit broke my heart. I mean, I smoke weed, but I mourned my son's innocence. And I cried a little bit. And I took his papers upstairs in my room. Rolled some weed that I'd hid from the family. And I got really high. And then I got paranoid. So I put his papers back how I found them. So he wouldn't know what I was up to. This nigga won't even know that that happened until he sees the special. Then nigga, I found your papers. He's a cold motherfucker. Let me tell you, this kid is only 16 years old. Listen to what he did to me. This motherfucker calls me up in the middle of the night. It was 1 o'clock in the morning. He goes, Dad, don't be mad. I knew something was terribly wrong. I said, what's going on? He said, listen, I'm fine. And don't forget, you told me to do this. I'm at a party, and my designated driver had too much to drink. Me and my friends need you to come pick us up. I said, Jesus Christ, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, nigga. I am shit-faced.
I ain't so bro.
Well, I figured, fuck, it's better me than some kid. I might as well roll the dice and go pick my nigga up. I said, all right, I'm coming to get you. Give me the address and I'll be right there. And they gave me the address and I was shocked. I said, son, you are not gonna believe this, but I'm at the same party.
Wait a minute. Yo, Dave Chappelle is too fucking crazy. You're not gonna believe this. But how about that? It's actually fun. Damn.
Not gonna lie, I have this like weird attraction to JT. I think JT is so
JT Money? No, I didn't say JT Money. City Girl. That's what I'm City Girl.
Yeah,
JT.
yeah.
I don't know why I said JT Money. Yeah. I'm playing my song like this. What?
Both sorts of billionaires, liberals and right-wing billionaires, want to protect capital at all costs, which is why someone like Bernie Sanders was equally excoriated by Democrats and Republicans. Although Trump said, I like Bernie, I kind of respect him, because I think that he recognized Sanders had a kind of authenticity that had no screen. I mean, Sanders has disappointed us in many ways, but he's unscripted. Look at the rest of the Democrats. They can't actually answer a simple question without having a focus group or a screen of consultants tell them the right things to say.
Hello, Catherine. Welcome to How the Light Gets In. You are a cultural theorist known for your work around class mainly. Your next book is about trauma. Can you briefly explain this topic and why it's important?
Well, I was really fascinated, but I should say appalled by the way in which trauma as an affliction and a concept has been instrumentalized by the liberal class of professionals, especially around the sort of very basis of their politics. And instead of just criticizing identity politics or woke politics, as some of my colleagues who I admire on the left have done, I thought we had to go deeper. And there was something about the rise of this kind of psychologization of suffering, as well as the gentrification of pain, that really struck me as being critical to the post-68 professional class elites. And one of the things that I think allowed them to eclipse the suffering of the working class and the question of exploitation was that they promoted at every single level, from psychology to feminism to medicine to politics itself, they promoted this idea that trauma was something that was cross-class as a phenomenon. And I also came of age in a time when human rights in the Cold War were very much dominant in politics. And this whole idea of trauma, I thought hypothetically, was in a way of positioning the American hegemon as the most enlightened force in the world that was going to help the world recover from the trauma of communism. Because the communists they were asychological, they didn't know how to deal with suffering, and especially during the end of the Cold War to the 1990s, there was an idea that the Holocaust was the greatest genocide in the world, the greatest atrocity in the world, and it was only the free world that was processing it, and that the recently liberated countries of the East had not looked at the trauma of the Holocaust as such. And I was really interested in how this ideology around the question of trauma and recovery, because there's a real script in terms of that, dominated every single aspect of the culture industry. And the trauma objectification only accelerated since COVID and since, the rise of kind of neoliberalism, where trauma becomes content. Publishers were starved for it. And it comes out, and I trace a kind of intellectual history of trauma in the American culture industries as a function of both the end of the Cold War and the war of the professional classes against the working classes, because all ideas of suffering then had to go through this lens of suffering and recovery. And I was always interested in how Americans and Anglo-Americans, because we're all Puritans together, focus on sexual violence rather than economic violence. And so in the book, I make the argument that the liberals of today want to say that the greatest form of violence takes place in what I call the hidden abode of seduction, rather than what Marx called the hidden abode of production.
Mm. So do you think it's an element of a class war?
Yes, absolutely.
And
I had someone do a LexisNexis search of the mention of trauma in American mainstream media. And in 1970, the graph is like here, and it goes up gradually. And after 1980, the Reagan Revolution, it starts to accelerate. After 2000, it's an exponential increase in the mention of the word throughout major mainstream media.
You've given examples such as AOC's use of her traumatic experience, live streaming it on Instagram, and there are other celebrities who constantly come out with their traumas to be more relatable. Why do you think they're doing that?
I think it's more than to be just relatable, but it's to authenticate themselves as good people, as enlightened people, and to burnish their brand. So for instance, Prince Harry, your prince, is obsessed with his own familial trauma. And I think that he has absolutely been through the ringer in terms of paparazzi, etc. But he's also born into one of the world's oldest monarchies, one of the world's wealthiest families. And he, in collaboration with Oprah Winfrey, who takes up a large piece of the book, are leveraging their celebrity combined with their trauma to create a formula for branding, personal branding. And it was really unfortunate that AOC just went into this channel. And I really hope that for young leftists in the future, that they don't do that. Because I think that in order to have true political conflict and progress, we have to cordon off the personal. For younger people, is a pressure to expose oneself and to remain in constant contact with social media, to leverage one's trauma and its publicity for eyeballs. And I think it's enormously destructive on the personal level and on the political level. And I know she has political ambitions. She's probably not listening to me, but I think that we have to return to a more objective and stoic, as well as determined and even, I'm not anti-violence, but militant idea of the left. And to fetishize vulnerability and to fetishize confession only takes us back to the most reactionary forms of bourgeois subjectivity.
Is there an idea that suffering somehow makes you more pure or innocent?
It's in this language of lived experience that you feel like if you haven't suffered, you don't have the right to speak about something. And we have to take the confession at face value. Confession is very, very Christian. Did Karl Marx ever work in a factory? No, but he was one of the greatest intellectuals and thinkers of the 19th century of the deplorable conditions of the first and second industrial revolutions. He went and saw what the working class was doing. He, along with Engels, were non-religious witnesses to the immiseration of the working classes in this area of England, very close to where Birmingham, Liverpool, Manchester. And so do we say, oh, you were never a worker in a textile factory, so you have no right to speak of it? I think that is the deepest kinds of anti-intellectualism possible, so that this sort of lived experience authentication is part and parcel of an anti-materialism that's part of liberal centrist politics in the Anglo-American world that we export to the rest of the world as some kind of moral good.
That focus on lived experience, does that come from philosophers such as Levinas, who say that the other is unknowable, that the other is eternal?
Levinas is a kind of metaphysician of intersubjectivity. I do think the other is unknowable. I don't know but there is a kind of ethical superiority to this kind of respect for the other and the other suffering that I think is a mask for something in psychoanalysis we would call over-identification with a traumatic material. And when you, as a subject, over-identify with the suffering of the other, you actually don't give them any room to have their experience. You instrumentalize their suffering and you make yourself the agent of cure, recovery, witness, etc. So in trauma studies, for instance, that came out of Yale University Literature Department, the highest order of ethical moral activity was actually witnessing the other. And they owed a lot to Levinas. But I think it's a crypto-religiosity that subtends liberalism. And I think that as leftists, we have to be insistent on secularism and agnosticism, which means that so there's a kind of ethical way that we should not identify with the other, an ethical skepticism about it. Because now today, young people have received this as a form of self-presentation. So like this reification of one's own suffering and identity is the available language of subjectivity. And I like to think about what Adorno said about our subjective experiences or our subjectivity is that we are all marbleized with objectivity. with ideology. It's not the Althusserian, we've been hailed, etc. It's like we are actually all pieces of marble with veins of individuality and subjectivity in it that are totally imbricated in objective ideological formations. And so to become a subject is actually a kind of work, a kind of labor that the trauma culture script allows us to bypass, to take a shortcut in, to be able to have this kind of theater of empathy. With young people in America today, they kind of like nod. Everything's like assent. It's like the emoji world, like thumbs up, smiley, and there's this kind of like constant. I think of them as like bobbing heads, nodding with each other.
Oh my God, I hope I wasn't nodding.
No, but how can we be attendant to the objective world, critical and skeptical, but also truly intersubjective? The trauma culture, trauma script thing just is a veil right now.
How can we be truly intersubjective?
I think by being resistant to ready-made forms of empathy.
But you mentioned confession. That is an ancient or very old form of therapy in many ways. Don't we
Expression of religiosity. I don't know if it's therapy. Like Augustine's Confessions actually were the first, if you like, foray into the creation of inner life. Like action in the ancient world was all of the if you want to call the individual, the agent, the hero, the mythic hero is determined by external action. It's with Augustine that you have this Christian idea that there's an internal life with an important arc that of sin and then guilt and confession and revelation that can be shared through language. It's a great breakthrough, but we are unconsciously aping this form of confession that actually has no community, because liberalism and centrism are instrumental ideologies. And at least Augustine believed that he was entering into...
Yo, this lady dropping some fucking shit. She was like, hey, we gotta be more logical with our empathy, nigga, because these motherfucking people nowadays, they just want to use their trauma as markers and identifiers of who they are so that they can get more empathy. And then the people who are empathizing with these people, especially if they do have real traumas, won't even let the trauma get healed because you're more goddamn virtue signaling the fact that you're helping. And it's like, yo, the whole system is fucked up. And these young people, I'm a this and I'm a that. And it's like, you need to be bullied, motherfucker. That's your problem. Have you ever been bullied? Somebody ever try to stuff you in a locker? Somebody ever pull your pants down in a group of people, something like that? Push you in the swimming pool? No? That's what the fuck is wrong with you now.
Community, giving people a model.
I'm skeptical with my empathy.
Could unite them. Today's suffering is all about, look at me, look at me. Today's confession is all about, look at me, see me, recognize me. I am doing this. I am suffering.
And nigga, you one of 8.2 billion people on this planet. You know how many other people are going through exactly the same fucking thing you are right now? Or worse. Exact same thing. You are not a unique individual, bro. Calm down.
And this is why people say like, oh, I feel so seen. This kind of seeing is about being in a specular like hall of mirrors with the other. The other just becomes a mirror and reflects on us how we want to be seen. People possessed of an inner life, people of...
And nobody don't want to see... Misery loves company, but never borrows sorrow. Man, put good shit out in the universe, man. All the shit, all your trauma and shit. I mean, it's good to share in a creative way, but don't let that be who you are. And always present yourself as this woe is me person.
People have recovered. We have all suffered And if you look at we have all been traumatized. We can't be human without being traumatized. The great British psychoanalyst D.W. Winnicott talked about how
everybody got some
birth
shit
is
with
a
their ass,
process
man. You're not
of
unique.
being weaned
We all been
from
fucked over
the
some kind of way.
maternal womb, from the womb, actually. So every step of establishing some kind of autonomy means breaking from this idea that we're enclosed in this cocoon, this uterine cocoon of nurturing and mirroring. And so you have this idea now, I find on social media, especially among the younger generation, I should actually say the older generation is just as bad, where we see social media as merely a mirror, not a space where we recognize the otherness of others, but also our universal shared commonality, which has to do with class solidarity. In fact, if you live in a mirror world, there is no solidarity with others. There's no class. There's only this kind of specular, insular self that finds other monadic, specular, insular selves. We're all like disco balls. Like just this is not a good form of sociality. There's something so antisocial about identity politics, and it just leads me to despair, because right now within the terrible politics of the United States, you have the far right, represented by Trump, attacking wokeness and identity politics on the liberal left, which is more liberal. There's the voice of the left when it comes to attack identity politics is immediately construed as being in alignment with Trump. And I find in liberal institutions, nonprofits, universities, professional organizations, people are actually doubling down on identity politics, although voices of dissent are rising. Vivek Chibber and I are prominent leftists who criticize this thing. The way that we are excoriated on social media is unbelievable. And I think we both prefer to have thick skins, but I'm really shocked, still continually shocked and disappointed by the knee-jerk ad hominem attacks that anyone from the left receives when we try to criticize these formations, these liberal ideological formations. When Vivek's interview came out on Doomscroll about, it was woke over. I don't like to use that term because I think it is a term of the right. That's why I prefer to use identity politics or even trauma culture. Some people with PhDs just posted, on social media, "fuck Chibber," as if that were an argument.
Well, this brings us to your book on the professional managerial class, because you're talking about them, right? Who are they, just quickly?
Well, right now, we think of them, they're college-educated elites who are liberals, who believe that they have a kind of professional neutrality that makes them superior to other people. Their formation today really comes out of a post-1968 social movement consolidation of their ideology within the professions. In 1900, perhaps there were real progressives within the professional class, which was very, very small. They made up about 3% of the workforce. Today, they make up about 25% of the workforce. And most elite strata graduate from Ivy League universities, elite universities. They're in the law firms, they're in medical profession. They're people who think that they've mastered a neutral set of tools that allow them to give the best solutions to social problems. Thomas Piketty has defined them as being more of the Brahmin left, and their opposition is the mercantile right. This is a good way of understanding the war between Harvard and Trump right now. But the war between Harvard and Trump masks the greater war between the capitalist and the worker. There were just statistics that came out last week that said that 60% of the American population is unable to satisfy minimum life requirements. 60%. And I think the next level up, which are, maybe the next 20% are having difficulties and maintain their life requirements, but through credit. So you could say that the fight between the professional elites and the mercantile right is a fight in a minority still, and that there are two different kinds of billionaires: the right-wing billionaires like Peter Thiel, and the left and the liberal billionaires like the Pritzkers of Chicago.
Is it intra-class?
You could say that it's intra-class among the professional elites in terms of their allegiance to capital. Yeah.
Okay.
Both sides, both sorts of billionaires, liberals and right-wing billionaires, want to protect capital at all costs, which is why someone like Bernie Sanders was equally excoriated by Democrats and Republicans. Although Trump said, I like Bernie, I kind of respect him, because I think that he recognized that Sanders had a kind of authenticity that had no screen. I mean, Sanders has disappointed us in many ways, but he's unscripted. Look at the rest of the Democrats. They can't actually answer a simple question without having a focus group or a screen of consultants tell them the right things to say. They are the most manicured people in the world. And, there's a popular skepticism, and I would say even hatred, of this kind of lack of spontaneity, lack of authentic human experience. And so whatever you want to say about Trump, he uses a very simple language and he connects on some deep emotional level. And that deep emotional level is right now connected to the hatred of 65% of Americans who didn't go to college, of the rest of Americans who did go to college, who pretend to speak this language that no one understands. Of course, 30 of the people who go to college, most of them just want to get a job and get on with their lives. But it's that elite strata who dominate graduate schools, who are in the professions, who speak this completely artificial language of identity and of trauma culture. It is very, very, very terrifying to see how insular that world is.
So the working class is more alienated from the affect of elite culture rather than the elitism itself, other than the billionaires such as Trump.
I feel the working class is it's difficult. They're disorganized, but they know and they feel that they're being ripped off and exploited, not just at work, but also in their health, in their consumption habits. Private equity is taking over every single aspect of American life, right? From hospital care, from to education, to the financialization of systems. And so, that they're being exploited. People know that the system is unfair, but you have like raw exploitation on the part of Trump and the right wing, a kind of libertarian Nietzscheanism, Ayn Randianism, and then you have the soft exploitation of people who are, in the professional strata, who feel that they know better. So would you rather be exploited by people who are just naked Nietzscheans, or people who are smarmy do-gooders who are picking your pocket but telling you how to, recycle your cans? I don't know. I do know, but the question is like, there is a deep, legitimate, popular hatred.
I'm out of here. Ow. I spent like 2.5 hours trying to figure out some ads and posts for this album so I can put on social media. I barely painted this morning, but I did paint a little bit, so that's something. I'm gonna go downstairs and play some video games for a little while until it's time to start cooking dinner. I'll get with you guys in the next one. Peace. We're out of here.